Welcome to the deep dive. You know how life can sometimes feel like, well, just a constant barrage of challenges?
Oh, absolutely. Things coming at you from all direction.
Exactly. So today we're looking into something really practical. 10 Buddhist principles. The idea is to build this core of inner calm.
Right, a kind of steadiness that doesn't get thrown off by, whatever life throws your way.
hmm Instead of being constantly reactive and stressed.
It's about developing an inner stability, a different way to relate to all that stuff.
And that's the heart of this deep dive. These 10 principles. Think of them as tools, really.
Tools for building that kind of unshakable inner peace. It's quite empowering when you think about it.
Yeah. Our mission then is to unpack these ideas, see how they can actually work day to day.
Practical strategies for everything, from
Yeah.
small frustrations to the really big life events.
And it reminds me of that Buddha quote, peace comes from within. Do not seek it outside.
That really sums it up, doesn't it? The source is internal.
So let's dive in. First principle, handling insults and offenses. This is a big one for most people, I think.
Definitely. And the Buddhist view here is, well, fascinating. It suggests insults only have power if we give them power.
Okay, unpack that a bit. How does that work?
Well, think of words as just vibrations in the air initially. They only hurt if we internally agree with them or let them define us.
So it's our reaction that's key, like someone trying to hand you something awful.
Exactly, like a burning coal. You don't have to take it, right? You can choose not to grasp onto that negativity.
And that Buddha quote about anger. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Powerful, isn't it? It really shows who suffers when we cling to resentment over what someone said.
It's ourselves. We're the ones drinking the poison.
Precisely. And often, if you really look at it, someone's insult says more about their own state of mind, maybe their own pain or frustration.
So it's not actually about me necessarily. It's reflecting their stuff.
Very often, yes. Seeing that can create a bit of distance, helps you not take it so personally.
So the alternative response suggested is compassion. That feels counterintuitive when someone's being offensive.
It does, initially. But if you consider that hurtful words often come from a place of suffering in the other person,
Okay.
responding internally with a sense of compassion, not necessarily agreeing with them, but understanding their likely pain, can actually stop you from getting hooked.
So it diffuses the situation for me internally. I don't get dragged down.
Exactly. You maintain your own balance instead of reacting with anger, which just fuels the fire. It's choosing understanding over reactivity.
That's a powerful reframe. Okay, principle number 2. Transform everyone into a teacher, even the annoying ones.
Huh. Yes, especially the annoying ones, perhaps. It's about adopting this mindset of constant learning.
Everyone.
Everyone. Every interaction, positive or negative, holds a potential lesson if you look for it. Remember that quote. When you take care of yourself, you take care of others. When you take care of others, you take care of yourself.
How does that connect?
It points to that interconnectedness. The lessons we learn from others help us grow, which in turn affects how we interact. Caring for our learning is caring for ourselves and others.
Okay, give me an example. Someone's really unkind. How are they my teacher? What am I learning?
Well, maybe that interaction is a chance to practice patience when your first instinct is frustration.
Okay, I can see that. Or maybe notice my own reaction.
Yes, to see how you respond to unkindness. Can you remain centered? Can you choose not to retaliate? It might teach you about setting boundaries or even about compassion for difficult people.
So it flips it from, ugh, this person is terrible to, okay, what's the lesson here for me?
Exactly. It shifts you from being a passive victim of the interaction to an active learner.
That fosters resilience, I guess. Makes you less likely to be thrown off balance.
Precisely. An open, adaptable mindset, always looking for the growth opportunity.
Okay, moving on. Principle 3, transform envy into emulation. This feels very relevant today with social media and all that.
Extremely relevant. Envy can be so corrosive, can it? Making us feel less than.
Totally. So what's the Buddhist approach here?
It's about consciously redirecting that feeling. Instead of jealousy, cultivate admiration and inspiration.
Right, that quote, do not be jealous of others' good qualities, but out of admiration, adopt them yourself.
Yes, so you see someone's success, and instead of feeling diminished,
You ask, what qualities or actions got them there? What can I learn?
precisely. It shifts the focus from comparison and lack to your own potential and growth. Their success becomes data, motivation, not a threat.
So it keeps the focus on my own journey, my own progress.
Exactly. Emulation is active. It's about self-improvement. Envy is passive and draining. This way, you're using their success constructively for yourself.
Makes sense. Okay, principle 4. Be strict with yourself, but tolerant of others. Sounds like a balancing act.
It really is. It requires both self-awareness and a good deal of empathy.
So strict with myself means holding myself accountable, setting standards.
Yes. High ethical and personal standards. Striving for your own growth, working on your shortcomings. It builds self-respect, inner strength. Like that quote.
You yourself, as much as anybody, deserve your love and affection. So self-discipline comes from self-respect.
Exactly. But then the crucial flip side is extending patience and understanding outwards.
Towards others' faults.
Yes, recognizing everyone's on their own path with their own struggles and blind spots. We all make mistakes.
So I push myself, but I give others grace.
Precisely. Tolerance comes from recognizing that shared human fallibility. It fosters empathy, understanding, better relationships. It's that balance.
A tough balance, but I see the value. Now, principle 5. This one's hard. No one can hurt you. My immediate reaction is, yes, they can.
I understand that reaction completely. It feels like people hurt us all the time.
Right. So what does this principle really mean?
It means the external event, someone's words, someone's actions, isn't the source of the hurt. The hurt itself is our internal reaction.
Our interpretation, our emotional response.
Yes. Remember the Buddha saying, no one saves us but ourselves. We ourselves must walk the path. It points to our own agency, our power, and how we respond.
So the sting, the pain that arises inside me.
Exactly. Think of that tree analogy. A strong wind blows, the tree bends, maybe loses some leaves, but if its roots are deep, it's not destroyed.
So it's about
You know.
cultivating those deep roots, inner resilience.
Precisely. Through things like mindfulness, self-awareness, we build an inner strength so that external negativity might, buffet us, but it doesn't uproot our core sense of well-being.
We don't identify with the hurt, maybe. Observe it instead.
That's a great way to put it. We take responsibility for our inner state. It's incredibly freeing to realize you have a choice in how you respond. You're not just a puppet of external events.
Okay, principle 6. The power of acceptance. I sometimes confuse this with just giving up.
That's a common misconception. Acceptance in this context isn't passive resignation. It's not saying, oh, well, this awfulness is fine.
What is it then?
It's about acknowledging reality as it is in this moment, without fighting it or judging it. Accept what is. Let go of what was. Have faith in what will be.
So seeing clearly this is the situation right now, even if I don't like it.
Exactly. The suffering often comes from the resistance to what is. That internal battle of, this shouldn't be happening.
That resistance takes a lot of energy.
It does. Acceptance frees up that energy. It allows you to see clearly and then decide how to respond constructively, rather than just railing against reality, like swimming with the current instead of fighting it.
Okay, I get that. And it applies to people too, accepting them as they are.
Absolutely. Accepting people, flaws and all, fosters much more compassion and understanding in relationships. Doesn't mean you can't hope for or encourage change, but it starts from accepting the what is.
Less friction, maybe. Okay, number 7. Living according to nature. What does that entail? Going camping more.
Huh. Could be part of it, but it's deeper. It's about aligning our lives with the natural rhythms and recognizing our interconnectedness with the world.
Like the Buddha said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, man cannot live without a spiritual life. Nature connects to that.
Yes, observing nature cycles, seasons changing, day becoming night, teaches us about impermanence, growth, letting go.
So it's about tuning into those rhythms in our own lives.
Exactly. Maybe aligning our activity and rest with daylight and darkness, eating foods that are in season, spending time outdoors. It supports well-being.
It also sounds like it brings a sense of responsibility towards nature.
Definitely. If we see ourselves as part of nature, not separate from it, then caring for the environment becomes natural. It fosters respect and stewardship.
Okay, principle 8. Focus on ethical living. The idea that thoughts shape reality.
A cornerstone. The mind is everything, what you think you become. Our thoughts and intentions are incredibly powerful.
So ethical living isn't just rules, but cultivating a certain kind of mind.
Exactly. Cultivating wholesome thoughts, speech, actions, honesty, compassion, non-harming, it builds inner integrity.
And that integrity acts like a shield.
In a way, yes. It protects you from negative consequences, internal and external. Honesty builds trust. Kindness brings joy back to you. Respecting life creates harmony.
It leads to a clearer conscience, less guilt.
Absolutely. And fosters self-awareness. You become more mindful of avoiding harmful behaviors, like gossip, and more inclined towards things like forgiveness. It's a positive cycle.
I like that. Principle 9, practice gratitude. This feels quite accessible.
It is, and so powerful. Gratitude fundamentally shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present.
From lack to abundance.
Precisely. Remember the teaching. Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. Finding something, anything, to appreciate.
Even the small things we usually overlook.
Especially those. The sunrise, your coffee, a friend's text. Training the mind to notice these small blessings has a huge impact.
It's like an antidote to negativity. Balances out the problem.
Exactly. It acts as a buffer against stress and dissatisfaction. And expressing gratitude obviously strengthens relationships too.
And it's an act of practice, right? Like keeping a journal.
Yes, or just taking moments throughout the day to notice. Gratitude meditation, mindful observation. Even in tough times, finding something to be grateful for offers comfort, a glimmer of hope.
Okay, last one, principle 10. Trust the process and let go of control. This sounds like the ultimate challenge in some ways.
It can be, especially in a culture that values control so highly. But Buddhism teaches that attachment, especially to outcomes, and needing to control everything, is a primary root of suffering.
You only lose what you cling to. That quote seems relevant here.
Very much so. Letting go doesn't mean giving up effort. It means releasing the rigid need for things to unfold exactly according to your plan.
Surrendering to the flow of life. A bit like that river analogy again.
Exactly. Swimming with the current, guiding gently, rather than exhausting yourself fighting it. It applies everywhere.
Relationships, career, personal challenges.
All of it. Accepting others' agency. Embracing career detours. Adapting to unexpected changes. Trusting the process allows for more ease and resilience.
It requires being present, doesn't it? Not constantly projecting into the future, worrying about outcomes.
That's key. Being present, doing your best, and then letting go of the obsessive need to dictate the result. It requires patience, faith that things often work out, even if not how you imagined.
It's a continuous practice, I imagine, constant reminding.
Absolutely. Mindfulness helps you notice when you're clinging too tightly, trying to force things. Then you can consciously choose to loosen that grip, to trust.
Wow. These 10 principles, taken together, they really do offer a comprehensive toolkit.
They do. It's a path towards developing that inner state that isn't just constantly reacting to external events.
Cultivating a mind that's grounded, resilient, largely unaffected.
And remembering, as we started with, that the source of that peace is always within you.
So as a final thought for you listening, consider which one of these 10 principles really stood out to you today. Which one resonates most right now?
And maybe think about one small, concrete way you could try applying just that one principle in your life over the next few days. See what happens.